Hey, YouTube Gunham here. Welcome back to Space Engineers. I know what you're thinking. We looked at this already. It's the Freelancer. Yes, it is. But, it's mostly covering up what's behind it. That opening in the mouth there. Yeah. I went ahead and popped this together. This is the Halberd class destroyer. Yeah, is not much longer, nor is it much wider than a Freelancer, and if I'm not mistaken, it's actually a little shorter. A little taller there on the Freelancer, maybe, yeah, it is actually a little shorter, like a block, but the Freelancer stays pretty skinny, just a little bit there, and then actually skins it up a little bit for fattening up a little for the engines. This just starts skinny, then fat, real fat, spaced armor fat, and then slims down a little bit before chunking up a little bit more, and then engines. And that's actually the widest part. No, it's actually equal to that. Sure. The Halberd destroyer. Yeah. The Freelancer is meant for more all-around capabilities with good amount of assault cannons for a broadside, but not really much for frontal engagement besides the railgun. This thing, on the other hand, is all about a frontal engagement. Let me move it a little bit. And it's actually surprisingly lightweight despite weighing nearly 6 million kilos. Yeah, this thing weighs almost 6 million. And surprisingly maneuverable, but I'm probably going to increase that because it's not great. Though it's meant more for a straight line anyway, so. Yeah. Oh, let me sit for a minute. Better. Okay. So. Oh boy. From the front, I mean, this thing looks mean. Look at that. Jeez. From the front, it is very mean. 16 assault cannons, all able to hit some poor target on the front, and half of them able to go broadside. That's going to hurt. 2 railguns up front. Only 4 Gatling gun turrets, though. Up front. Right here, there's a few there are 2 on top and 2 on bottom, excuse me, so 4 Gatling gun turrets, 4 rocket turrets there, and then these 2 Gatling gun turrets here. Combining that with the 2 Gatling gun turrets in the back, and the 4 assault cannons in the back. Yeah, there's 20 assault cannons on this thing, but only 10 Gatling gun turrets. There are 4 rocket launcher turrets and the 2 railguns. The back is not too well defended, but I mean, it's got 4 interiors. A couple interiors there. A large gap of interiors here, but I mean, you got a couple there. I believe there's only 18 interior turrets on this thing. I'll have to double check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Yeah, this thing had 22. This is 18. Combined with the fact that this had, 11 Gatling gun turrets or something like that. I mean, you got 8 right up front there, and then the 2 right there. Oh, this had, 14. That's right. There are 14 Gatling gun turrets on this thing. This has 6. Or, no, excuse me, this is 10. I forgot about these side ones. So, obviously, this is not really meant to defend a fleet, especially since it weighs about 6 million. Speaking of cost, 36,203 PCU, 4,540 blocks. Substantially more than the frigate. Yeah. But there is a pretty substantial amount of heavy armor. On this frigate, the heavy armor is on the front there. There's a tiny amount here. It's actually just the inseam, not there. And then a little around the bridge, and that's it. On this thing, however, it's all the green here, plus that section there, and that section there. Why isn't that heavy? This should be heavy armor. It is. Why is this not? Whoopsie. Well, this is going to increase the weight a little bit. This should be heavy armor. Come on. Fine, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Donk. Yeah. So, this is all heavy armor. And then the heavy armor continues to there. Comes back to here. This is heavy armor here, but not the sides or top. Heavy armor there, heavy armor here, not there or top. Same with this. And the same with this, though not this section here. But this section here is heavy armor. Is this light armor? I think it was. Well, it should be heavy. The reason for this is... that is heavy armor. Okay. Oops. The reason is basically if you're trying to hit the assault cannons, it's just heavy armor, heavy armor, heavy armor, heavy armor, heavy armor, including that front bit there. And as the ship gets a little bit bigger here, it stays heavy armor. Now there's a bunch of light armor in this section, but then this entire forward face of this thing is heavy armor, and most of this thing is heavy armor, just the angled on the back. Also, the bridge on the front and the top, and the lower bridge on the bottom and the front as well is heavy armor with double spacing the windows. Yeah, it has two bridges. So, most of the sides is just heavy armor from the front. Most of the sides, heavy armor from the front. Now, when shooting at this, an enemy could easily, of course, hit some of these engines. That's a lot of engines. That's going to leave a mark. Except for there's a catch. The antenna, that's not it. There's decoy in here. There's decoy on the other side, too. So they will be shooting this, which is covered in heavy armor and guns. This would be just completely flat if it weren't for that decoy. This is the first BBA ship to have a decoy. So the enemy's not going to be shooting at anything too important. Now, there is no hangar, unlike the frigate here. It's just this. I was thinking about a hangar on the bottom, but decided I want a second bridge instead. So it's a lot more durable. It's a destroyer, not a frigate. It's meant to kill things, not meant to be a general support ship. It's meant to charge forward and just lay down massive amounts of firepower and then run like hell. Basically, it just doesn't stop. Now, of the engines, you'll notice here, this group of engines actually inset a little bit. And this is also inset behind heavy armor on the front, and no inset is not behind heavy armor on the back. So making it a little bit harder, but that is inset. These are not inset, all these there, but you have a choice. You can shoot at the guns, or you can shoot at this handful of engines surrounded by heavy armor. These don't have heavy armor, so make your choice wisely. These are not inset. It's actually decent at moving sideways, not so great at moving up and down. It's missing a large amount of engines, which you can clearly see. Its reversing thrust is alright, but its forward thrust, of course that's going to be good. But there's actually engines hiding inside. So let's take a look at the inside. First off, you got the railguns here. Bunch of batteries. I think there's like 90 batteries in this thing. And a lot of gyroscopes. But here's one group of internal engines. Some for forward, some for rear, top, bottom, and side engines. Along with one of many reactors, actually two there and two on the other side. And a hydrogen tank, along with an O2 generator in there and some oxygen tanks. Then you have a gap where there's more internal engines. These are only for up and down. And some gyros. I believe, yes. Then another gap before more hydrogen tanks. This is where I'm going to put some extra gyros, probably. And some side thrusters, so I'm probably wanting to armor this up a little bit more. And then the living area, here in the middle, this column. Before the rear, which has a ton of reversing engines, and of course the main forward engines. But also, this is where the jump drives are. 2 of them. One here, one there. Sure, yeah. Speaking of, let's take a look-see. And I'm going to go ahead and add some gyroscope. But first, I need to change my color to dark. And then it was in this area, right. So, I want a little more. Can't see, there we go. Armor. A little bit more armor to help protect the hydrogen tank so it doesn't blow up the ship. This is all armor plating, isn't it? Oh, that's a hydrogen tank. What am I saying? Oh, that was it. There's no other room in here. Oh. Oh, well, I could put a couple gyros right here. That's where the beacon is. Just, there's not as much room. There's actually a ton of cargo space. There's not a lot of empty room, though, to put more gyros. There's 2. A lot of spots that could be used for gyros are already consumed. There's 2 more. Oh, that was 4, actually. That makes 6. Then, yeah, you see the gap isn't really a gap. It's a false gap. I see a gyro back there, though. That's 3. Here's that internal thing with the hydrogen tank right there. Yeah. So that's 10 additional gyros. There's a ton of gyros. And there's one of the reactors. No other room up front? Probably not. It's just all batteries. I could knock out some of the batteries. I don't think I will. And then you got the railguns. Yeah. So, you know. Is this open or is this just... Oh, this is all armor plating. Okay. This is solid. Yeah, there's not much in the way of open space on the inside. Oh, you 128 gyroscopes. That's one of the reasons it's so expensive. It's maneuverable, and it weighs 5,980,116 kilos. Just under 6 million. I mean, not even 20,000 under 6 million kilos. Jeez. Yeah. But it'll take a bit of a beating, and it's definitely going to pack a punch. It just charges you, turns off, and keeps moving. Sure, yeah. That's the destroyer. Next, a cruiser. I wonder what that's going to look like. Yeah. I mean, I love the franchise. I just don't like what 343 Industries has done with the franchise since they got hold of it. I mean, even their renditions of the anniversary ruined the flood missions in the anniversary of 1 and 2. I mean, come on, idiots! The atmospheric storytelling was more important than the other stuff. You stupid. Enough. I love the franchise, but yeah, I'm probably gonna stop after the light cruiser. I do need to finish that, so we'll see. Catch you later.